I know I'm a little late to the party, but just a few days ago we have received official pictures of all upcoming LEGO Star Wars sets for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that will release in April. This wave honestly looks really good, but the prices just keep increasing, which is something to worry about. If you enjoy this type of content, please consider to hit the subscribe button, and now let's dive straight into the reveals. Now before I start to go over each set in detail, I just have to say how beautiful I think the box arts look. The blue stripes really sets the sets apart from the rest of the Star Wars sets, and the set images look just as great. LEGO really cooked here. But now let's begin with the first and probably least exciting set, and it's set number 40856, the Mandalorian and Grogu Alien and Villains Brickheads. With a retail price of roughly $40 for 661 pieces, it is definitely on the cheaper end of this wave, but since it's only a bunch of brickheads, I guess most people aren't too amazed by the set anyway. While it isn't the most exciting set, I still gotta say that the brickheads are really well done. We get some kind of Anzellan, Grogu with his new outfit, an Imperial Remnant Snowtrooper, the Mandalorian himself, and Colonel Ward, who gets played by Sigourney Weaver. But I can't really tell if this was the best selection. I'm usually a big fan of these brickhead multipacks, which they already did for the Return of the Jedi and Revenge of the Sith. You get a nice amount of good looking character builds, I mean, if you like the brickhead style, which I personally do, and these sets usually have a pretty fair price, are fun to build and come with a lot of printed details. My favorite out of these has to either be the Snowtrooper or the Anzellan. They turned out really well, but I can't really complain about any of them. Next up we have the first regular playset, and it's set number 75444, AT-RT Attack, which is gonna retail for roughly $45 and it's gonna include 297 pieces and 3 minifigures. While the price is obviously way too high for such a small set, I'm actually a big fan of the included Imperial Remnant AT-RT driver. It seems like the Mando and Grogu movie has a lot of Fire Imperial designs, and the new Grogu variant and Mando are some nice inclusions as well. The turret itself has some nice play features and looks pretty good besides the goofy looking stud shooter, and the smaller size AT-RT is pretty decent as well. The set should have only cost about $30 in my opinion, but with a discount it is definitely a neat little playset. But before we move on, just take a look at the beautiful box art on the back. Damn, they really outdid themselves here. Just imagine if UCS boxes still looked like this and weren't missing any sign of soul or creativity. Yeah, these Mando boxes are really awesome. We can also finally take a look at what an Anzellan starship looks like, and this is set number 75445 for $75 with 701 pieces and 3 minifigs. 3 minifigs alone sounds pretty bad for $75 retail, but it gets even more hilarious when I take a look at what figures this lineup consists of. 2 random ass Anzellans and little Grogu. That is it, I'm not joking. If you were to stack all 3 of them on top of each other, you get the height of 1, maybe 1.5 minifigs if you're being generous, and that for the price of $75 is insane. I don't know who makes these prices, but this trend with LEGO Star Wars sets going up in price and having less and less value is just very sad to see. I mean, who in their right mind would pay $75 on release day for some random ship with 3 super small minifigures? To be fair, you also get a B1 made out of some random parts in the ship, but this has to be one of the saddest looking minifigure lineups ever. But besides the insane price and minifigs, I actually kind of like this ship design. The pretty sleek grey design with some minor yellow details looks really dope. It also has a great and packed interior, which I bet a lot of people are gonna love, and the build in general looks really awesome if it weren't for the price. The back section is really awesome as well and kind of reminds me of the Tantive, but overall it's a pretty solid ship. If it would have been a little cheaper or included 1 or 2 actual minifigs more, I would really like this set, but like this, I don't know, man. But at least the Razor Crest has to be a banger, right? Yeah, not really. Set number 75447, the Razor Crest is gonna include 930 pieces and 5 minifigs. So far so good, right? Yeah, but the retail price is an insane $150. I'm not joking. They want $150 for this downscaled and shortened version of the ship they made a few years ago for $140. To be fair, the old one felt a little overpriced as well, but it at least had some solid proportions and was a decent size. I mean, just look at the size comparison from I Am Wicked Wicked on Instagram. This is insane. Yeah, there is a 6-year difference, and of course there's inflation, but to this degree, the Star Wars license is probably one of the most, if not the most expensive license for LEGO, but it just feels like every Star Wars set gets more expensive at an unreasonable amount, while they don't offer anything to justify the increase. Other companies at least try to offer you more perceived value when they increase prices, but it sadly seems like LEGO doesn't care. But what do you think of the Razor Crest price and the set prices in general so far? Do you agree, or am I missing something that makes the prices fair? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But putting the price tag aside, we have a great minifigure lineup. The new Grogu with Beskar armor that I really like, Mando himself with his Beskar armor, a brand new Garrus Aurelius with dual molded legs, first time for a Star Wars minifigure, dual molded arms, phenomenal printing and a stunning looking headpiece. This has to be the best minifigure out of this wave, and it is a strong contender for Figure of the Year even though we're only in February. Colonel Ward gets her first minifigure in the set, as well as the Imperial Remnant Stormtrooper. Great minifigs, once again an amazing box art, maybe even my favorite in this wave, and a for the most part good looking crest. The engines seem a little oversized and the back section feels extremely shrunken down and shortened. I mean, just look at this image of the interior on this top image, but besides that I still really like the overall look of this set. Once again, if the set was a little cheaper, like $130, I would have been fine with that, but $150 is just way too much in my opinion, even when considering inflation. Maybe the best set out of this wave is set number 75460, New Republic X-Wing Starfighter, which is gonna include 558 pieces, 3 minifigs, and will have a retail price of roughly $70 US. Starting off with the figures, we get another variant of Colonel Ward, this time in her New Republic flight suit. Then there's also a Carson Teva who finally gets a Lego minifigure, which is awesome, but I was hoping for his jacket to be included in the design. It is such a unique part about him, and it's sad to see that they didn't include it on his torso print. The third and last minifig is a New Republic Astromech droid who looks very similar to the one from the ARC 170 set, but no, Lego went the extra mile and reversed the colors here, so you better appreciate that. All gags aside, I think it's a pretty decent minifigure lineup. I'm always a fan of Rebel pilot helmets, and the X-Wing looks pretty good as well. Some nice details, obviously the blue and white New Republic color scheme, a retractable landing gear, foldable wings, and in general a pretty decent model. That's also the overall rating I would give this set. Not bad, not great, it's just decent. The box art looks phenomenal once again, and I really hope that they can carry this over to other sets releasing this year. It's really nice to see that they still can if they want to, cause those Smart Brick sets had horrendous looking boxes, besides the other obnoxious things about these sets. Lastly, we also have set number 75446, another buildable Grogu, but this time he comes with the Mandalorian Beskar armor. If that doesn't justify buying the third one in a row for you, I don't know what's gonna convince you. This long-awaited set is gonna include 1,200 pieces, one minifigure being Grogu himself, and is gonna have a retail price of roughly $130, which seems pretty okay to be honest. I guess nobody really asked for this set, but the fact that Grogu has some armor and weapons is pretty cool, and he looks pretty decent as well. I already said this in a previous video, but I think this is gonna be a set for casuals who enjoyed the movie, and for that purpose it is really okay. But now we're already done, and these were all of the April sets for the Mandalorian and Grogu. The X-Wing will release on the 1st of April, and the rest of the sets are gonna arrive a little later on April 26th. As far as I know, the movie starts airing on May 22nd, so I don't know why they've split the release dates, but I guess they had their reasons for that. But what do you think of the new Mando and Grogu sets from Lego? What sets are you planning to pick up, and what do you think of the prices? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Now I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would highly appreciate a like to support the channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you want to check out some of my other videos, you can see my end screen right now.